when I get to work, I barely have time, you know, to take a little break. But it's so satisfying. What I really would like to do is look into like travel policies that we do need to put into place and things like that, that the city needs, you know, and better internal control. So I look forward to improving the processes here.
Thank you.
So thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you,
Helen, I just want to thank you for everything that you do and keeping the city and giving us good finance reports. You're doing an excellent job and clarifying everything.
Thank you.
And Helen, I really like that you attached the text and class report, the actual report here. And we can see the actual posted ballots.
Right, and once all our bank reconciliations are complete, I'll also attach those as well.
Great, thank you.
Thank you. Moving on to item 2D, City Manager's Report.
Thank you, Mayor and City Council. I do have an add-on that I need to be able to provide to you. Because I do have an email from, there it is. I do have an email from the contractor themselves, the update on the street maintenance that he emailed me late. After he had completed your packet, so I just want to show you 2 paragraphs.
Two? Oh,
It's this one.
okay, I got two.
Okay. So as an update that we have for the street maintenance, I did attach the map so that we would remind everybody about what the directions and where we're going and things such as that. That map is attached. But what he said was, please note that the Palm Street, the millwork is complete. And there's a prime coat that's pending. It looks ugly, but it'll get better. D Street millwork should be completed this week, leading to G Street and following all the millwork with the prime coats. They're supposed to be doing.
Hold on before you go. He's saying that he's going to complete Plum Street this week?
As he says in his email.
Well, he can't, he's got base and it's wet. You can't put steel
Well,
coat or anything
the
over it.
one thing that we have to be able to say with this construction, and any construction, is weather permitting.
Yes.
Weather permitting. And so that's why I wanted to make sure that we document what he said, and we'll talk about actually the contract and the time frame in a minute. But it is weather permitting. And I think
But one thing right now is for certain, that is not going to dry in a week or two.
it's not going to dry in a week, and I think I talked to.
So make sure that he doesn't try to do that.
Well, we talked to our Public Works Director, Public Works, and talked to Streets today. They were out there with them. And so they're saying they're hoping to do it the next 3 weeks, weather permitting. Because it's supposed to be dry next week, and hopefully it'll dry out. The project is running behind approximately 2 weeks. There is liquidated damages in that program. They have not actually, we haven't paid anything out to this day. They did submit something, I think they copied you, Helen, as well, but we're waiting for the engineer to sign off. But I wanted to be able to give you the request of what they're hoping to do. He's hoping for Thanksgiving, but I don't think he's going to make it, but we'll see.
But we understand, you know, with the weather.
Yes, the weather has to permit, and so we're having some dry, it's not necessarily cold, it's really just the wet. You're right, it does have to dry out.
Okay. Well, another question, do we have any of our employees over there?
Yes, they spent some time with them today. Yesterday, as I did notify you all, they were pretty much running around on not one, but 2 water main breaks. So we had all hands on deck for that. And I do want to thank the ladies publicly because they were out there giving the guys hot coffee. And we provided lunch for them because they had to work through lunch. So they were out there with them today as they're getting ready to do the base for those issues. So they, yes, they've been spending time with the supervisor as well as their rotating different staff. So you have to expose them to see how they're doing and how they do streets. And also to watch our wonderful contractors, because, you know, we love them, but you have to watch them as well. And so, does that answer your questions, Councilman? Okay, so we wanted to be able to give you the update, and so he submitted that. As we move on, of course, yeah, the councilors were here. I brought the paper because we made the paper several times. And I do want to say, I know Ben's still here, it has been a wonderful partnership that we've been able to work together and put these things together. And so on the USDA, we were really excited that the congressman came out. I know, Mary, you weren't available to be here, but the congressman came out. It was well attended. And then we were able to do a twofer. So we left here and then went over there and had that wonderful shovel-ready thing at the Dodge dealership. And so I think Mr. Price was concerned that, is he really coming? Is the customer really coming? And he really did come. And so that is in the paper as well, and we're really, really excited. They had a bigger check with the amount, but my interim finance director quickly pointed out that they had the comma in the wrong place. And so it is $2.4 million. So we have that as well as he presented. And I believe, Councilwoman, you were able to be here and accept the certificate of recognition for this $2.4 million. And then they had the regional director of USDA to come out and attend. He made a joke, I thought it was kind of funny. He said he's here in Floresville so many times giving out Texas City to Floresville that he thinks he's going to register to vote. I thought that's not a joke you want to tell this audience because, you know, a little sensitive going on in the election, but we were really able to do that. So we're really happy and proud, and I want to present that to the council. We'll put this in our lobby to thank them, and ceremony will have a place to put the check, but we're really excited about that. And like I said, one more person to sign, and we'll be ready to go for that $2.4 million. On a side note, we met this morning with CDBG, our other water project that should be starting in January. Because of the weather, we're just going to go ahead and start it in January. Again, the congressman was here. We took pictures of the dealership. That is the cutest little pink car I've seen in a long time. The grandparents are really happy. And so we're really there to say, but again, I have to say that it's all about partnerships. EDC, the city council, the county, everybody was there. The federal government, so that's really, really exciting. The De La Source Cemetery rededication was exciting, very well attended. The mayor was able to make that agreement, to make that event, and it was really, really done. They even had an article in the newspaper about that as well. We've had a little vandalism since then, but I've spoken to the chief of police. We're going to address that, and you know, when somebody puts something bad up on the wall, EDC and I are both in agreement that we're going to take it down and put it up again and continue as we had that. I think the most exciting thing for me was to see so many people standing around in the history, but the neighbors brought into that. Mr. Boff, the brothers,
Yes.
the two neighbors.
Danny.
There were two brothers that were there. He was so excited that he painted his fence red, and he painted his the new mailbox, and it was contagious because the next door neighbor, when we were there, along with the dogs, we had some dogs looking at us. I don't know where those dogs came from, but they were painting their new fence and putting up their mailbox. So it was contagious going for that. The county was really excited. So I think that's the beginning of taking care of things.
And we did get the sign, the vandalism cleaned up today, so
Yes.
they were really excited about that. And on the sidebar note, I talked to Luana Noonan, and she said that was probably one of their record attendance at events. So that was really nice to be.
Oh, it was standing room only. I think they had like 20, 25 chairs out there, and there were at least 25 to 30 people standing. People came from all over, and it's really nice. And so I did include a thank you letter to the staff. Nancy said she wants to bring, she gave a gift certificate, so she wants to have hot dogs and lunch for the kids and staff, so that was there. And then, of course, I put a copy of the program. The history is definitely there. Some of those date back to the early 1800s. And so Floresville has a rich heritage, and we want to celebrate that heritage. And so I was really proud to be a part of that. And so the accolades go out to the staff as well as EDC in our partnership. It was really exciting. And the county, because the county helped us cut down those trees, and Ben bought us a Polaris, a really nice little machine, and drove people back and forth. The weather was nice. It was really a nice event. So I want to thank you all. I want to present that to you officially, and that we'll be able to do that. Do you have any questions of myself?
No, but I have I like that letter. You want to read it? The letter that.
Oh, please help me, sir. Let me show you.
No, that's like, okay. It says, "Dear Miss Henrietta Turner, my family and I are eternally grateful for all you have done to help us bring beauty and peace to our humble ancestors, Campo Santo Cemetery in Floresville. Thank you and all city staff who worked so hard to clean roads, weed, haul dirt, straighten grave markers, and respectfully restore dignity to our humble family burial ground. I'm always drawn to tears while I encounter true beauty. Beauty is truth of the Lord's hand in my eyes, and and I wept even as I videoed the cemetery for the first time after your team's efforts. Kind of embarrassing, but just the wrong moment for me. God knows.
She was really touched and moved, and so it didn't happen overnight. She'd been working with the Historical Society, Wilson County Historical Society, and she was meeting with them on a monthly basis. And so what Ben and I did was, as she was meeting with them on that Tuesday evening, I asked her to come a little bit early and meet with us Tuesday during the day. And so we got really close, and she got nervous, and I said, I just got to get to the Peanut Festival. Because, they got to take care of Peanut Festival. Once we did that, we were able to clean up. And I was surprised at the results of how it looked. And it did have an effect on my staff because they were very proud to be able to present that. We did inform her that I cannot continue to do that because that is in the county, it is not in the city. But for this one occasion, as we have this wonderful dedication, we wanted to be able to do that. Now the sign, the historical marker, was located closer to the cemetery, but it had been shot up several times. And so the replacement marker is by the low-light marker that's further out by the street, but we actually was able, we gave her that sign. We took it down, but we gave it to her. She said it's kind of like a wound, but she wanted to keep that. Her family flew in from Houston and all over the state. They were really, really happy and proud, and I think it was a great event, and we want to be able to do that. On the same cemetery note, it seems like I'm having a theme. The mayor and I met earlier today. We're going to actually plot the next section at our cemetery on Plum Drive, cemetery number 1. And then City Cemetery number 2, my pastor from the Greater Bethel Missionary Baptist Church was here and prayed for us. And so we have been working on some time to dedicate that. And so we're hoping that we can dedicate that cemetery to them on their 128th birthday of the church, hopefully sometime in March. Into my report.
I want to thank you for everything that you've done. And on a positive note, everything's very positive with this report. There's a lot of things floating out there that the city's not doing anything, but we've been moving forward. For the people that do know, we've had a lot of things happen on the positive note, and we just got to keep it moving forward. Thank you for everything you do.
Thank you.
Mrs. Martinez had something to say.
Kind of a repeat from Tori, but I do want to thank you, Henrietta, and your staff, that, y'all are just doing such awesome things and for our community, and leading your staff to help and everybody that participated.
Yeah, it is a team effort, so I'm really having fun.
Thank you so much.
I just want to make a comment. Also, Ben's administrative assistant, Charlotte Nelson, showed the staff a video of the cemetery, the before and after. And I thought that was great that she shared that. And also they served us hot dogs and stuff while we were watching the video, so that was really nice.
Yes.
So one thing we Heather and I want to reiterate what she said is this partnerships and team building. So it takes all, like a village, right? So working together, so we come to the kind of consensus. We have to tell our story, right? So we're going to move forward. We got to remember where we came from and remember where we're going. So these are some of the projects that we're teaming up and working on. Like we put, like I said, this disheartening part was the vandalism maybe a week later, but we have a gate installed now. So it worked its purpose where they just did some spray painting on some wooden posts, which I'm never okay with it, but they're not breaking the tombstones. They're part of our history and who we are and where we came from as a community. So it's been real nice to know that we're putting these things in place for the future, and the guys were really happy. And she, on the hot dog thing, she made a donation, and the guys will know we're going to work together to do another potluck during the holiday season with that, and set aside a gift card from HEB. So we're excited about that as well. So.
Well, I think the key word is team, with a capital T.
Absolutely.
Okay, if no other questions on those or statements, moving on to new business, item 3A, consideration action to approve, resolution 2019-0222, designating an authorized signatures for the USDA Rural Development Rural Housing Service to apply for financial assistance under their Community Facilities Loan Grant Program.
Wow, that is a mouthful. Thank you. So just to remind the staff, we did this for the police department. We purchased 2 vehicles and we purchased 1 vehicle and they actually gave 2. And I may have to call them hell a little bit to get through this one. So this application is the same fund, but we're asking this time for public works. So we're asking for water and sewer. We're asking for 3 vehicles, correct? And so it's the same funding. We'll buy 1 and they'll purchase 2 for us. And so this is to say, yes, we want to authorize that to do so. Don't think I forgot about the police department. Betty told us to come back in January. So we'll be back in January to do this. I think Helen can do these now in her sleep. So we may do that. So we're asking you to approve the resolution to allow us to have this application. And please remember, for your edifications, the 2, 1 for water, 1 for sewer. So there's a total of 6 vehicles. We have a public hearing on what day? The 20th?
Yes.
So the 20th, we have to have, one of the requirements for the USDA is that we have to have a public hearing. They've gotten away from having public hearings at council meetings. So we have to have a separate date. We can't have it together anymore. So we'll be having a public hearing on the 20th if the public wants to come and put any input in reference to that. But just for the record, we will be funding the vehicle, our match, out of either water funds or sewer funds, whichever one it is. It will not come out of the general fund.
I'm gonna go ahead and approve this resolution 2019-02.
I have a motion on the floor by Councilwoman
I'll
Cantu.
second.
And I have a second by Councilman Jimenez. Any citizens' comments? If not, all those in favor, please raise your right hand. Thank you. Moving on to item 3B, consideration action to approve proclamation 2019-006.
Yes, Mayor, City Council. This is a proclamation for a federal elected official, Abraham Simon. Did I say his name right?
Yes.
He was from Pleasanton. He served on his council for over 20 years. He's worked with the city of Floresville on many occasions, elected, related, and extra support, and he passed. And so the judge was nice enough, our judge was nice enough to take the proclamation and present it to his family, but we wanted to make it official. It is an unsigned one. It had the seal, but it wasn't signed. We want to take it officially and have you to promote that. And his wife was very, very happy that the city of Floresville did not forget about him. And so he did serve for over 20 years on that council. And so what we're asking you to do is to approve this resolution.
I'll make that motion to approve.
Second proclamation, I'm sorry.
I have a motion by Councilman Jimenez, and then I have a second by Marissa Jimenez. Any citizens' comments? If not, all those in favor, please raise your right hand. Thank you. Moving on to item 3C, consideration action to approve a 3-year contract for legal services with the law office of Sylvia Rodriguez with a possible rate increase in January of 2020.
I move to approve a 3-year contract for legal services with the law office of Sylvia Rodriguez with a possible rate increase in January 2020.
I second.
I have a motion and a second. One question before I take a final vote and ask for citizens' comments. Are there any changes in the contract as opposed to what you currently have?
No, Mayor, it's the same contract, and it's actually about to lapse come January.
Okay,
So it's the same contract, just with different dates.
okay. Any citizens' comments pertaining to this?
I have a comment, if I may.
Yes.
I just want to say, given my profession, being an administrator in the special ed department in public schools, that is a department that's very litigious and working with attorneys all the time. And I just want to thank Sylvia. She's been very proactive, and she's always quick to inform us and quick to guide us in anything that we need. And I think she goes above and beyond. And I just want to thank her for all of the work that she's done.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
And it doesn't matter what time you call it.
I second that.
Okay, so I have a motion and a second, and all those in favor was 4-0. Do I take a vote?
Yes.
Yes.
Thank you, Mr. Rodriguez.
Thank
You
you.
do a great job.
Yeah. All those in favor, please raise your right hand.
Thank you very much.
It was.
Well, you got a double for it.
Yeah. Moving on to item 3D, consideration action to approve the agreement between the city of Floresville and Unison, that's the tower
Yes, ma'am. Give me 1 second. I have some other things to do. Oops, I'm sorry. Knock it down. This one's too.
I got one. I got it.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yes, this is just some information so that we can talk about this. Okay, thank you, Mayor. Thank you, Council, for being patient. Item 3D, and again, staff works really hard to try to get these in your packages by Tuesday, but sometimes the vendors are not as cooperative as we'd like for them to be. So you have the agreement here. At the last meeting, you asked and said that I could negotiate that. If you look at the one that I said that says terms of agreement, do we see that one? From you, terms of agreement, the mayor did sign because you all said we could negotiate, and I believe the purchase price that they're speaking of is $295,000. Do we all see that? Yay. Okay, so the agreement, that when I received it, I sent it over to your hardworking attorney, and she had one comment, and that is the email. And she's recommending now let her speak for City.
I think the only issue that I had, I reviewed all the documents. I think it's a great opportunity for the city. I think the city's gonna make some good money off of this lease agreement. I think my biggest concern was section 5, and I'm gonna read it to you. And I basically am asking that that sentence be taken out. It says site owner, and that means the city of Floresville is not entitled to terminate the easement agreement or terminate the easement created under such agreement for any reason whatsoever, including a breach of this agreement or the easement agreement. So I'm asking that that basically be taken out. There's always things that could come out, and I don't want us to be left holding the bag.
Right.
So my understanding is that that is something that they will agree to.
Yes, I did share that with them, and the young man I've been working with, he's not the attorney, but they want us to make our comments, and so we did share his email with them to say that we would approve it tonight based on your attorney's recommendation, striking this sentence as she is recommending and moving forward.
For how long is the lease?
The lease agreement is 55. Please remember, you maintain ownership, that's important, and then any revenue that they get from leasing it to other people, you get 50% of that lease. So right now, we're receiving about $1,200, is that right, Helen? Okay, go ahead. $1,300 a month is what we're receiving. And so what they're doing is giving us 15 years of lease all up front, which comes to the $295. And then anything going forward, and they're going to lease a lot more than what the 13. They don't do anywhere between $5,000 to $6,000 for their lease. That we get 50% of that for the next 55 years. Now technology, I don't know if it's going to be here for the next 55 years, or even the next 55 months. But it seems that that's going to be really happy for them, and they want to get to that.
What I was really happy with also, Ms. Turner, was that the city is given the opportunity to audit their documents, to audit their books, so that we can know that the amount that they're sending us is a true and correct amount that we should be receiving. I like that.
Yes, we've had offers before to buy our lease agreement, but they wanted to have it in perpetuity, or they wanted to purchase the land, and that was not amenable to this council or former council. So this one, we need to maintain the ownership. It's a 55-year, we have that money in advance, and there's no perpetuity.
Okay, I move to approve agreement between the city of Floresville and Unison.
I have a motion on the floor by Councilman Cantu. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Seconded by
Marissa.
Marissa Jimenez. All those in favor, please raise your right hand. Thank you, 4-0. Just one question to,
Excuse me, is that with omitting the sentence?
yes, with omitting, but do you need to, the contracts need to be corrected before I sign them?
Well, what you have before you is just a signature page, and so we'll let them know, we'll send it back, the attorney has it, we'll send it back to them saying that it's approved with this language out, and then it's their document, they'll have to recreate it for us.
Yes, ma'am. And it'll be subject to.
So signed or no sign?
Fine.
Whichever you feel comfortable with
As long as we take that.
Okay.
First step.
No other comments? Moving on to item E, consideration action to approve the salary backed payment of the chief of police from April 2019 through September of 2019. And we have our chief of police here.
Yes, the chief is here. However, there is a document in your packet that has a letter from the chief that he signed. So at your last city council meeting, you approved to give him an increase based on his contract to be effective as of October 1. However, when we did Assistant Chief Perry back pay, that he's saying that back from April, that he's requesting that between April and September, that you pay him retroactively for what should have been adjusted at that time. The estimate amount, and this is an estimate, is about $4,531.32. That would have been that retro pay that would have done in last fiscal year. So you will be having a budget amendment because that was last fiscal year. Chief, did you have any comments?
No, Council, I would like to say that it was an oversight on my behalf, of course, but I promise you that it will never happen again. And if it does, we'll leave it as is.
Any questions or comments by the council?
I'll make a motion to approve.
A second.
I have a motion on the floor by Mr. Jimenez, second by Mrs. Martinez. Any citizens' comments? If not, all those in favor, please raise your right hand. Thank you, 4-0.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Without any further business on the agenda, this meeting is now concluded at 7:54.